Hey everybody, thank you for joining us this morning. It'll certainly be an exciting day. At this time, I would like to introduce the President of U.S. Figure Skating, Sam Aksher.
Good morning, everyone. It was a pretty short night, so I apologize I didn't have a chance to do my hair and makeup. But I think we got it done. We have the right team. Of course, last night I think we saw a very exciting, somewhat flawed at times, performances from our men, complicating the process of selecting the Olympic team. Clearly, Nathan was up there in nosebleed territory with another great performance. That was very clear. He needed to be number one on the team. But then the process got a little difficult, and we went through the criteria in great detail, looking at various statistics in terms of average scores over the season, head-to-head competition, and other factors that we can talk about later in terms of supporting the selection process. But at this time, I'm really thrilled to introduce our Olympic team. First of all, Nathan Chen. Congratulations, Nathan. It's a great performance. Nathan, when we look at the criteria, Nathan was the only one that had high marks in all three of the Tier 1 criteria, so U.S. Championships first, Grand Prix Final first, World sixth. So that was clearly ahead of all the other men. So congratulations. Next up, and we're doing this alphabetically, Adam Rippon. Congratulations, Adam. So in the criteria, we looked at Adam's season. He had one of the strongest seasons of all our men in terms of average scores. In addition to his placement at U.S. Championships, he was fifth at the Grand Prix Final, qualifying by doing well in two of the two-tier Grand Prix events. He was selected for Worlds last year, but had to pull out due to injury, so we couldn't really consider that, but we could consider the events leading up to his selection as a World Team athlete last year. So congratulations, Adam. Next, we have Mr. Vincent Zhou. Congratulations, Vincent. Vincent had, walking through the criteria, this was, of course, his placement here at the U.S. Championships, and last year he was the World Junior Champion, where he set a record for total points. That is the Tier 3 criteria. He also had placements at Grand Prix and the Finlandia competition, where in head-to-head with a couple of the other skaters was the top U.S. man. So that's how we got to selecting Vincent. So congratulations, Vincent. We look forward to a great competition at the Olympics. We feel we have a very strong team, the right team, based on the criteria, the selection criteria.
Thank you, Sam. Now I will have each of our nominees tell us how they're feeling this morning. We'll start with Nathan and just go down the line, and then after that we'll open it up to questions.
I am, so excited to be nominated to compete as part of the U.S. Olympic team. Been a dream of mine to be selected on the U.S. Olympic team for as long as I can remember. The Olympics have really motivated me ever since I started skating as a little kid. So I'm so excited to be a part of this team. Also, huge congrats to both of these guys. I've seen how they train. I've competed with them for a long time. And I think all three of us really deserve to be on this team.
Making the Olympic team is a dream come true. When I found out who the Olympic team was this morning, the first thing I did was I texted Ross Minor, and I told him that I was so proud of the way that he skated, and I was so happy for him yesterday because I understand the ups and downs of a skating career. And he texted me right back, and he said that he was really happy for me, and that meant a lot to me. I'm really grateful that the selection committee looked at my body of work over the last 2 seasons. I'm a U.S. champion. I've qualified for the Grand Prix Final twice. I've medaled at my last 4 Grand Prix events. I feel like I have a really great resume. I'm really proud of the work that I've done over the past 4 years. 4 years ago, I didn't know if I wanted to continue skating. And a year ago, I was sitting in a cast. So I've had my share of ups and downs, but I've been very consistent. I've been very consistent, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I feel that my experience will help me have my best performances at the Olympic Games, and it feels amazing to say that.
There's a certain feeling, meaning that comes with the word Olympian, and it's really hard to describe, but to have that attached to my name is more than I could ever ask for in my entire life. And I'm so grateful to everyone who's been a part of my process. My 2 teammates are very deserving as well of these Olympic spots, and I'm really happy for them. This is only my first year senior internationally, so it's quite an honor to be selected to the Olympic team with a body of work that I know is not as large or successful as some of the other candidates, but I'm eternally grateful for being given this opportunity, and I will make the best of it.
Thank you, gentlemen. We will now open it up for questions. Just a reminder, name and outlet. Before you ask the question, we'll start with Nick.
Hi, Nick McCarville with Ice Network. Adam, I'm curious, after you finished that pre-skate to finding out that you are on the team, what were the emotions, what were sort of the feelings that you went through, and I would assume that you had a pretty good friend that helped coach you through some of that too.
Absolutely. Well, at first, my first emotion was I was upset with the way that I had skated. I would say that last minute of my program is, the biggest major mistake that I've made in the last 2 years. It's really uncharacteristic. But I tried to remember the work that I had done and the work that I had put in. And when I broke my foot, I looked at that criteria and I said, okay, I know I need to make up a few things. I wasn't at a U.S. Championships the year before. I wasn't at the World Championships. And I said, okay, I can do this. And I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm over the moon to be named to this Olympic team. Like I said before, it's a dream of mine, and my very good friend Ashley Wagner, who was in a really similar to identical situation 4 years ago, and we talked about it, and we talked it through, and I'm really like. Today, this morning, I know sometimes everybody thinks I have a big mouth, and sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. But I wear my heart on my sleeve, and say those things because sometimes my sense of humor kind of gets me through hard situations. I know that I might not be like the best skater, but I mean, I think I'm pretty good, so I'm just really grateful this morning.
Jury in front. Oh, well, Christine, and then we'll go to Jury.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Christine Brennan, USA Today. With all due respect to the criteria, to you, Adam, you know what we think about you. Sam, you had a competition last night, and the man who finished second in that competition was dumped from the team. His coach is, of course, right here, and of course he was dumped from the 1992 Olympic team in an ironic twist. How do you explain that? And how do you explain to everyone who watched the competition, again, with all due respect to the process, which we get, why you have a competition, why you have a nationals even? Thank you.
Well, as I mentioned yesterday, the criteria, the overarching theme is selecting the team, the individuals in the team, which would give us the best chance at medals. As part of that, in Tier 1, for example, there are 3 major competitions: U.S. Championships, the World Championships, and the Grand Prix Final, which are the top 6 men out of the Grand Prix. That was pretty key in terms of not looking at just one great performance at one of those competitions. But we are most likely, particularly if it's a domestic competition, I mean, we're looking for the athletes who have consistently performed across the Grand Prix internationally, who can get the scores, and who are most likely perform well at the Olympics. Ross had an amazing lights-out performance. He's a great example for our young skaters. He's been, you know, a tremendous athlete over the years in terms of giving some great performances and working with, you know, being a great example for our association. And, you know, absolutely, and congratulations to him for really putting it out last night. However, we had to look at the body of work, and Ross does amazing at U.S. Championships, but frankly, he has struggled at some of the international competitions. So we looked at all sorts of statistics, head-to-head competition, average scores, momentum within the scores as we lead up to the Olympics, and that's where we really had a challenge with Ross. His average score was the lowest among the pool that would be considered for the Olympics. He had some really challenging skates, excuse me, which led us to the conclusion that we weren't sure when we put him out at the Olympics that he would perform to the extent that, you know, there's a possibility for a medal.
Was it unanimous, the committee decision unanimous?
I believe the vote was 11-1.
Jury.
Adam, as soon as you finished your long program, the public address announcer came on and said no flash photography. Were you distracted at all? Did that play a role in you popping those jumps that you got distracted by somebody in the crowd that flashed the camera? Or
No,
not?
baby.
Another question for Adam is, do you have any sense that this was the most pressure-packed part of this process and that there'll be a liberating feeling for you once you actually get to Korea, that this in some ways might have been the most stressful part of it?
I think this is maybe one of the most stressful competitions I've ever done in my entire life. I can almost say that with 100% confidence. Hey, I'm 10 years and 11 years older than, respectively, than my fellow teammates. This is my 3rd run at an Olympic Games. You know, in this sport, sometimes time is fleeting. I mean, like I said before, even 4 years ago, I didn't even know if I wanted to continue. But when I finished yesterday, I had a moment where I said, you know what, I'm so grateful that no matter what, I continued to skate because I am such a stronger person. And I am a lot braver than I thought I ever could be. That being said, on January 6th, 2017, I broke my foot. And I had a notebook that I brought with me, and in the notebook I had my hospital bracelet from the hospital that day that I broke my foot, completely ironically. And you know, I thought of like how far I had come in that whole year, and I was just like, oh my God, this is the day that I'm gonna like, of my redemption. And you know, that skate didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to, and so now I know that every January 6th I will take a sabbatical. I will be in the Maldives on a yoga retreat, and I will not talk to anyone. It is the day of the Sabbath now.
Check you on.
Question for Vincent. You were third here, and you know, obviously what happened was the second place finisher got bumped for Adam. And so, what were your emotions like last night before I guess the text message that came to you, and how did you feel during that time? And what did you do?
Well, last night I was in my hotel room. My mom was like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, and I couldn't sleep. I mean, I was just like hanging on to anything I could for a little bit of hope that I was going to make the team. And when I got the text, it was like, it's kind of like, imagine you just, it's like your year to win the Olympics, and you didn't have such a good short program, you skated a great long program, and you're not sure if you're going to win, but the scores come out and the ranking shows you're in first. And like that's the kind of relief that I felt. And it was such a moment. It was absolutely amazing.
Elliot, you're on the end.
Elliot Allman, San Jose Rippon News. So I want to ask Nathan and Vincent a question, and then I want to ask the same question a different way to Adam. What will it mean for you guys to have, as he's already said, somebody a decade older as one of your teammates? And then Adam, I'll ask you, what are your plans for the kids?
Nathan and Vincent, why don't you go first, and then we'll go to Adam.
I've trained with Adam for the past 6 years or so, and honestly, it's been so inspiring to be able to skate with him. He trains so hard. Honestly, you know, he's so deserving of this Olympic spot. And I'm excited to start training for the Olympics with him. You know, like we both push each other. I definitely wouldn't be the skater I am without him by my side. So, you know, I think that we're really good. We're a really good team together, and I think, you know, we're gonna attack this Olympics well together.
I agree with what Nathan said, and I also think it's good to have someone who's very experienced on the team, along with the, as many people would say, the young talents like Nathan and I. Adam is, like Nathan said, he's very deserving, and I know he works hard. I know he's a fighter. It's an honor to have such a great team.
I'm so excited that my two sons are doing so well. I'm honored to be their father. But you know, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and I always kind of feel like, you know, a leader or a big brother. And you know, I want the best for the both of them when we head into this Olympic Games. And you know, I think the Olympic Games is more than a competition. It's when athletes from different countries can come together. And I really, you know, hope that if, you know, any of these two guys have any problem or any sort of thing that they feel comfortable to come up to me because, you know, I've lived a longer life being born in the 80s. But I'm very grateful, you know, to be the senior on this team, and I have their backs.
Bonnie Ford.
Congratulations, guys. Bonnie Ford from ESPN. For Nathan and Adam, it's hard to imagine two skaters with more contrasting styles, both personal and on the ice. What does it say about
What do you
Rob?
mean? No, I know what you mean, don't worry.
I try to be clear. What does it say about Rob that he can coach both of you and get the best out of both of you and get two athletes on an Olympic team?
I mean, you know, props are off for being able to do exactly what you just said. I mean, he's able to create an environment that is both competitive and also super friendly. We're all just trying to make him happy, honestly. So that's our one goal. So regardless, you know, like we work together very well to achieve that goal. And I mean, when we're on the ice, you know, it's like obviously Rock is there, he's watching over us, but we still do our own jobs, and we obviously feel all the other skaters' presences, and that really helps at least motivate me to, you know, try to put out the best session that I can.
You know, Nathan and I, we do have varying styles on and off the ice. But I think, in a way, it helps bring out the best in the both of us. For somebody who isn't really known for their technical merit, I'm talking about myself and not Nathan. What better place for me to be than with somebody who is world-renowned? And, you know, I like to think of myself as one of the, you know, a really great performer, and I try to bring that into practice every day, so I try to make every day kind of feel like a competition. So I hope that I bring an intensity to the practices that, you know, makes everybody in the rink kind of want to work harder. It's been a complete pleasure being able to skate with Nathan for the past 6 years because I also would not be the skater that I am today without him. And it's been a real treat to watch him come up through the rankings and to have the success that he has now. He's incredibly deserving, he works incredibly hard, and on those days where I'm like, I am too old to be doing this, I look